Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the all new game that is coming out. Basically, Ragnarok Online. Now, if you have seen the Lost Memories Ragnarok series-ish videos that I've been posting lately, the original Ragnarok that they got the graphics from is actually resurfacing. Basically, the same developers that created the Lost Memory is also going to be hosting Ragnarok Online, the original classic. There's actually a closed beta for Ragnarok Online going on right now. It launched yesterday and oh my god, I was excited for it, but I never actually expected so many people to be in it. The first few hours of launch was scary. It's scary because there's just so much people that you can't even see the NPCs, you can't even move at some point. But within all that chaos, we can still see that there's a lot of love for this game. Now, I'm not the only one, but a lot of people actually claim that Ragnarok Online was one of the best MMORPG that they've played. But to be fair, the official one in Asia closed down. Now, I feel like there are multiple reasons. One of it was that initially they started off as a paid subscription, like you actually have to pay every month in order to play. So not a lot of people have access to that. When it finally became free, there was a lot of botting problems. Basically, whenever a new player enters the game, everyone that they meet is like a bot, and it really forfeits the feeling of playing an MMO. Anyways, this is going to be a short video of me reviewing the Ragnarok Online so far in closed beta. First of all, it's great that a lot of people came back and played. Now, we really don't know how many is there to stay, but in games like this, the numbers matters because it's the numbers that create the economy, where when you're trying to sell something, there's always going to be a buyer. When you're trying to buy something, there's always going to be a seller. The number is also going to allow you to meet people when you're venturing out. If you see that you and another player has common goals, it makes sense to party up and you might make a new friend. The first thing you need to know about this game is that it's not meant to be an idle game like the Lost Memory. So there's no auto battle, there's no auto pathing. So you will spend a good amount of hours staring at the screen, clicking and moving your characters. So let's take a look at the closed beta. Now, there are a lot of assistants, I would say. There are NPC placed there for the closed beta in order to make things faster. You could just talk to an NPC to get your job change from your first class to the second class. I highly recommend that you go through the sort of newbie tutorial thing and talk to the NPC, do the beginner's quest, simply because they actually gives you a lot of rewards, from fly wings to potions to equipments. Now, I understand that not everyone is into the story or even bother listening to what they're trying to say, but it's kind of useful if you could just pay, partial attention to what they're trying to ask you to do. The options given is not always, the first one being yes and the second one being no. Sometimes the second one is the yes, and then you have to kind of be paying attention not to overclick or misclick. The first tip that I want to give you, besides do the beginner's quest, is that when you want to change job from a novice to a first class job like a swordman, thief, whatever it is, do not use the Valkyrie. It's like an angel. It's an NPC, temporary NPC placed there for closed beta in order to help you change job. Now, the problem with using her is that you don't actually get the bonus items that come with your class. Especially classes like Archer is gonna suffer a lot if you do it this way, simply because you're gonna need to spend a lot of money to buy the bow and also the arrows. You should be able to find another 2 ways of changing your class. The first way is the original way, where you have to go, let's say if you're playing an archer, you have to go to Payon and do the quest line over there. The second way, which is the easier way, is that you have to go to the academy and then go to second floor, and there'll be a path where there's different classes for you to choose from, and you go into the correct room to find a particular NPC that's going to help you. Changing your class this way will give you some extra rewards like beginner weapons and stuff. So for example, this archer that I have, changing job this way gives you a quiver for silver arrows, the normal arrows, and also fire arrows. Each quiver contains 500 arrows, and just the arrows alone is about 2 to 3k worth of arrows. You probably wouldn't actually meet the Valkyrie when the actual game is launched, simply because again, this is a temporary NPC. The next thing I want to talk about this game is that it seems to allow for multi-client. So basically I can have more than one window of this game open at the same time. So if you have more than one account, then you could have more than one characters on the same computer running at the same time. Now this has its benefits. This means that if you want to play a character that has very poor stats in terms of trying to level, simply because, for example, if you want to play a alchemist that is a pure brewer, it's gonna need a lot of dex, a lot of luck, a lot of INT. This means that I don't have the damage to kill monsters or to tank monsters, so leveling is gonna be hell. However, because of the capabilities of dual client thing, you could actually leech off yourself and not from someone else, because who wants to be the one being leeched off of? However, there are also people who would play it to support themselves. For example, I have an acolyte, which is going to be a priest soon in the future, and is following my archer. So whenever he gets low on health, the acolyte will heal him, and if he needs any agility boost or blessing buff, these are also there because my acolyte is following him. Doing this can save you a lot of money from spending potions. It can save you a lot of time as well from all the resting. However, of course, you might need to be leveling 2 characters at the same time, so EXP wise is draining as well. But because of the repeatable quests, it actually makes this a lot easier, simply because the kill count for each monster can go to both your characters if they are in the party. Now this could be good and bad in my opinion, because it kinda also promotes solo play. So for example, if someone were to be a full support acolyte or priest, he might find it hard to find a party simply because everyone has his own acolyte and priest. But of course, it's really hard to control 2 characters at the same time. However, there is a way to make your character follow another character by holding down shift and right clicking on that character. Now if you are playing the closed beta, you can actually go to the cash shop. They'll give you some free KP currency, and from here the few things that you probably want to buy is this one, the boarding halter box 30D. This will give you a mount like this one so you can run around, but do make sure that you dismount when you fight, because they can't fight while you're mounting. Because of this, you shouldn't be afraid to experiment, because you can also purchase things like the reset skill box and also the reset stat box over here. Finally, when it comes to leveling, I feel like the repeatable quests really helped a lot. They have a cooldown, unlike the older version that I was used to. So basically in the past, you can do the same repeatable quest over and over again immediately, and people will just spam on one particular quest that gives you the most and is the easiest one. However, now they have cooldowns. Some is an entire day, and there are others that takes an hour before you can redo it. I feel like this will allow players to want to explore and also try different things. Now, since I haven't been playing this game for a very long time, and I'm kinda refreshing as well, plus my character is still really young, so that's all I'm gonna say about the game. So far, from what I can see, it's heading towards a good place. Now, of course, naturally, with so many people, there's gonna be the bad ones as well. There'll be the KSers, there's gonna be the dead branch users at newbie areas, and people who just overuse their megaphone's privilege. So don't base off the game if you were to try out of 1 or 2 bad apples. Okay, that is all for this video. I believe there is still a 2 or 3 more days closed beta that you can hop in and try. I hope you enjoy. Bye bye.